This is to the drug addicts that feel they're worthless or they feel like they're nothing, just like the title said. And God said, why don't you get up this morning in the middle of praying, said, that's a good topic for you to talk about. So ask God, what is it you wish me to say about the drug addicts out there, or addicts, those who struggle with addiction, that feel the worthlessness of what it can make them feel, and the nothing that they can feel too, that the life of addiction can make them feel. And not only that, but the people that around them can make them add that feeling too. And God says you can say this: if you're worthless, you're not. If you're an addict and you're worthless, you're not. If you're a person who has an addiction of any kind and you're worthless, you're not. You're not a person that lacks worth. You're not a person who needs worth, because worth is always something that's there. You're a person that needs to care about your own worth and about the way you stare into the abyss of your no worth that you think is true. You're not someone who needs to feel worthless. You're someone who needs to feel worthful. Worth a lot. This is the right word to say, is okay. Worth that way. You get the point. To be worthwhile, and to be worth your life, and to be worth a chance, and to be worth the hope, and to be worth the things that make other people believe that you're a life that deserves a chance to have. The opportunities that life can bring, the opportunities that life can sling your way into better existence, into a better way to exist. Sobriety is the key. Leaving your addiction is the key. Leaving all that stuff behind so that you have a clarity of mind that helps you to see that in front of you is a better road, that you can sow a better future, from reap the rewards of a better try, of a better life that no doubt you'll make just from simply leaving addiction, starting day one. Even day one, it's the choice, it's the thinking. When you start to think that I need to get sober, I want to get sober, and many of you do. Many of you want to be sober. Many of you don't share that desire to be sober because many of you have lost that sense of hope in you. To feel worthless and to feel less, to feel like nothing. Because you can feel like nothing. And I know what that feels like. I know what it is. It eats away at your hope. It eats away at your belief in you. It eats away at your belief in the future. It eats away at the belief in what you can do. It eats away at your certainty of you. It eats away at your confidence. It eats away at you. It eats away at your desire to be friends with people. It eats away at your hope in people. It eats away at your hope in you. And it eats away at your belief in you, and your belief in people, and your belief in your situation. It eats away at that. And when it eats away at that like that, you can die. The truth about addiction is what sometimes the people who make you feel worthless don't really understand. For an addict to be someone who dies, they have to give up, not try. And when you're an addict who's sober, an addict who can die when you relapse after months of sobriety is true on the very first try of getting high. Intravenous drug users are at the highest risk of dying. When they are sober, they can be in a program. They can be lighting up the world. They can be loving everybody in their family. They can be showing them the stars. They can be showing them how much they're a star. They have a tough night. They have a tough day. They run into someone who just maybe doesn't believe in them and shares that, or makes them feel like absolute garbage. The feelings of shame, the feelings of worthlessness, the feelings of feeling like nothing that they carry on their own are still close to the surface, is true. And when you push an addict down without knowing it, it's not your fault, it's true, but you can be aware too. You can be aware too if you know the addict. If they love you, and if you're someone that matters, and they're trying and they're succeeding, and that's what you see. But all of a sudden, you just attack them as being a worthless addict for whatever reason, because you get mad at them, or the old feelings that you feel, the frustration that they gave you, or the times that you had to go and help them, that you had to drive them to rehab, that you had to drive them to detox, or you had to give them money at 3 a.m., or that you held their hand while they were crying, about their future, about what's going on, or how much they hugged you and said, I'm sorry. The times they rolled up at your house and they just wanted to hang out, and you let them hang out, and you tried to talk to them, and you tried tried to love them, and you took them to the store, and you gave them something to eat, and you fed them when they were hungry, and then when they lost everything and they had nothing, you're the one who drove and under the bridge and found them sleeping when the whole family couldn't find them. You're the one that helped fill out forms so they have insurance. You're the one who took them to the, in Arizona we call it DES, Department of Economic Security. And you filled out the forms for the free insurance that any addict could get that covers everything, that even covers rehab. You were so determined to help them. You kept helping them. And every time you gave them a little bit of money, and you gave them a little bit of money, and you knew that it was possible you were giving them that money for drugs. You were giving that money for shit that they didn't need. Because an addict with money is an addict that rules his life with money and drugs, and money is king. Cash is king for drugs. You got cash, you can get drugs. You can get something to eat just by panhandling, just by begging. No, you can just by standing and looking sorry. Or you can just ask people for something to eat. And maybe you're that person too, that when they got homeless, when they were homeless, and you experienced that. You watched them lose everything. You watched them have a place. You watched them have an apartment. Maybe they had gone to rehab. Maybe they had conquered what was the biggest problem in anyone's life if they have it. Is they lost their kids. They lost their life. And they were on the streets before. And they survived, but then they got tired of it. And you watched them over the years. And then they disappeared, and then they went to rehab, and you didn't know it, and then they appeared again. And then all of a sudden, they're in a program that's a long program for months and months. And they reach out to you, and they tell you they're doing good, and then they have, the end of the program, they succeed, and then they get a place. They get a place because of the program. They've got a job because of it. And you see them on a regular basis. You don't have to give them money. You don't have to give them anything but encouragement. That's an amazing thing to see. It's for me. I got to experience that. It's an amazing experience because I got to see that firsthand. I got to see somebody who I cared about and who was homeless, who had nothing. And then they had an apartment after going through a program. Small place, studio, far away from my place. And I remember walking in there and looking at what they had inside. And they had furniture, and they had a TV, and they had a kitchen, and they had food in the fridge. I was so amazed, and I was so proud of them. I don't think I really expressed it. I get excited about stuff. I got to see that, and I got to experience that. And when you know someone who's homeless, and you know someone who lost it all, and you know someone who has nothing, and then they get it back, it's an amazing thing to experience and see, especially if you're the person that was there doing all the stuff that I just talked about. Because I'm one of those people, like many of those people, who's done that stuff that I talked about. I'm the one who's held their hand. I'm the one who cried with them. No, I'm the one who cried for them, about them. I'm the one who gave them money. I'm the one who paid their bills. I'm the one who did it for many different people. I'm the one when I didn't have much, I still give it to them because I wanted them to succeed. I'm the one who tell them, if I give you this is, I want you to improve your life. There's just a little sentence I'd say sometimes, even when I was being an idiot getting high. Because I'm the one who had extra, and I'm the one who maybe made it worse for some people. God says it's true. You can make it worse for people because when you're an active addict, you can make it worse for people if you've got more. And God tells me, Mr. Rahman, you're a person who wanted to make it better for many people. And you're one who tried to make it better for some. You're someone who was there for some people to a degree that other people don't really understand what it's like to be there and to help. You're someone who gave away a lot of money. Isn't wrong, because the fruition of success was something that you didn't look at as a long-term thing. You wanted someone to have something to eat. You wanted them to have something to drink. You wanted them to have a place to stay, and you gave many people the opportunity to have a place to stay. You bought hotel rooms for the friends that you really loved and you cared about so that they wouldn't have to spend the night on the street or because they asked you. And you'd go there and you'd pay for it yourself because you didn't trust them with your money. You're like, fuck that. I'll go and I'll pay it. And you'd put your ID down and then you would stop doing your ID because you learn. You put your ID down in a room that you pay in advance and maybe you put your credit card down for them. Yeah. An addict who may not be real sincere or is sincere may have a friend that shows up insincere and tries to take the TV that's on the wall to go cash it out. And your friend, has to stop them because, and that happened one time. You got a room for a friend and they ended up inviting a bunch of people. You didn't know that. They told you afterwards, and then they told you they were going to strip down that room, but she had to yell at them and tell them not to do that. And I was lucky for you because your credit card was down and you could have lost it. That's a risk that you took, and that's a risk that I took. I took that risk, and people take that risk all the time. There's ways to help, and there's ways to be effective in help. Helping is a way to show an addict that they're worthwhile. An addict can be worthless to you, but they're not worthless in life. An addict who lives on the street is an addict who's resourceful, is an addict who tries hard, is an addict who lives hard, is an addict who can be hard about life, be hard to you about life too. They know a lot more about you, about what it is to live hard, because they wake up and it's just something that they do. It's just something that they exist because it's something that they are for the temporary time that they're there doing that. You have no idea what it's like if you're someone who's never not had a home, who's never not had a place to go, who's never not had money in your pocket. I experienced money in my pocket, no money in my pocket for the first time. For the first time ever in my life in 2017, when I had a lot of trouble with the police. And my family was great. My family was supportive as hell. And my family checked on me. I didn't want to ask anybody for help, really. But I had one day where I had no money at all. Zero. Just for one day. And the reason I had no money is I gave 15 of my last dollars to a friend that had to go and get their ID. They were an addict. That's the story they gave me. And I gave them $15. No, no. All right. My point is, to have $0 in your wallet sucks. It absolutely sucks. To wonder if you're going to be able to put gas in your car if you have a car sucks. But it's an existence that addicts who have nothing, they live. It's a reality that they live. And when they need to get money every single day, because if you're an addict that's an opiate addict, you're an addict that needs money because cash is king. You can trade things, you can rob things, you can boost, you can do all that shit. But you need money in order to be able to get your drugs. You need it. And you're resourceful. You'll rob, you'll steal maybe too. Many don't like to do that. It's true. It doesn't mean you're a guaranteed thief. You rationalize in your mind, well, I'm not stealing from people. I won't steal from friends. I won't steal from real people. I'll steal from stores. And I had to explain to a friend of mine when I said, there's so much stealing going on that people do in stores that it raises the prices for everybody. There's so much, loss. I don't know what they call it. There's a term for it. I ain't gonna talk about that. But if you're an addict who feels worthless, you're not worthless. You're someone who's worthwhile. You're someone who's worth your life. Someone who's worth the chance that people can take on you. But when you're someone who feels worthless and who feels ashamed and you feels the heavy of what is your life of waste, your life of haste, your life of cost, your life of loss, your life of less, and your life of digress and divest, and nothing in you feels that you can make anything more of just yourself than being someone who gets high. Because getting high, it takes you away from all of that. It doesn't give you anything but a simple purpose. And the purpose is simple. Get high. What are you going to do today? Do drugs? And you have to get money for it. So you hustle. Varying degrees. Varying degrees of addict, varying degrees of need for the drug, too. There's a lot of topics that people can talk about in addiction. I ask God, what do you want me to wrap this up, sir? And God says, you want to go eat breakfast, is what you want to do. God says, finish it up like this. If you're an addict like me, then I'm an addict like you. But if I'm an addict true who doesn't like to use anymore because he feels that the addiction he lost is an addiction lost forever, because he wants no more cost to his life to be incurred, to no more he lose. What it is, something beautiful that he's found. It's not a ruse. Recovery and sobriety is a beautiful thing to be a part of and to believe can lead to a greater existence. Yes, indeed. I'm the addict that believes in you, and I'm the addict who cheers you. I'm the addict who's been down there but not been you. I'm the addict who's seen you where you've been far less. I'm the addict who hasn't gotten there, but I fear, well, if I lose my shit, that I could be next. An addict can lose it all quick, and an addict can be down there quick. An addict like me, that's not an addict for real anymore, because I steal more better life for me, not by stealing, but by simply believing that better life is for me. And I believe it through and through, and so can you. That life is worth the fight, and life is worth you. Life is worth you trying. Life is worth you getting up. Life is you believing that those helped you, that you can trust, that they'll still love you if they've tried that hard, that they ain't going to give up on you. If they say, you're a star, and you remember that shit, when you've got a needle in your arm, and you've been balling on the cheap sauce for too long, and you're all shot out, and you look like pins all over your arms and shit, and you're a mess, and you stink, and you know it's true. Yeah. They still believe in you because they know you can clean up. They know you can look like a human being again, which you are no matter what. If I'm an addict like you, then I'm an addict like you. But I'm also someone who knows you better than you might think I know you. No, I know you. And I'm an addict like you if you're not an addict like me. Then you're just a regular person, maybe, who needs to remember that people are people, and people matter no matter what. Every person matters. Every life matters. Every life deserves, including yours, especially yours too. But when it comes down to one or the other mattering more, we all matter the same. We're never worthless, and we're never nothing. You're never worthless, and you're never nothing. Remember that. You're worth a lot, and your life matters. And you're always someone. Amen.